You ever wondered why we sleep? You ever ask yourself this question? I actually have been asking this question ever since I was a child. Why do I need to sleep? And why sleep so much? Why do I need 8 hours of sleep like the doctors and Google and my parents and all of society tells me, you know? And as you investigate this question, you start to get some clues and some answers. Do we need sleep? Can a human being function fully, vitally, thrive, not just survive, but also thrive without sleep? Well, I don't think there's a definite answer for that. You know, it's like saying human beings can't, they will get hypothermia in minus 30 Celsius. Well, tell that to the Iceman Wim Hof, because he could literally sit there forever. So I'm sure with the power of the mind, human beings could transcend even this seemingly primal need to sleep. I am sure that really the mind is the creator of reality, so one could alter the probability, because we're in a probability-based reality. This is a simulation, so the probability is very, very strong that a human being needs food, not food, we already covered that, we know that's not necessary, but the probability that human beings need sleep seems to be strong, but it could be altered, and there are many ways for it. However, I really do genuinely think, and that's my opinion, that human beings need a little bit of sleep. And the reason why has to do with dreaming. Okay, it has to do with the dream world. It seems that spirit really communicates with us in very clear symbolic ways, but clear because the soul uses symbols. So if you familiarize yourself with symbolism and metaphors, you will be able to interpret the dreams in your life and how they relate to your own existence here on this realm. It seems to me that dreaming is something that is actually of spiritual benefit, therefore making sleep quite beneficial for the spirit, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are evolving, we are becoming whole again, that's the name of the game. And in the dream world, because the conscious mind is not present, there is a clear bridge to the unconscious. The collective unconscious is what Carl Jung called it. So now, before we go on any further about this, let's put it out there. The reason why human beings sleep 8 hours a day, most human beings on earth, and they still wake up with a headache, with fatigue, with tiredness, and they still get tired throughout the day, is mainly due to our eating habits. Okay? And what happens is when you sleep 8 hours, your body goes into a deeper detox, and that's why when you wake up, you're still fatigued and tired, and you know you got a headache. It's because the body is in a detoxification state because you've been abusing the body so much. So if you do reduce your food intake over a period of time, as the body gets cleaner and as you eat the right foods, you will find that you're needing less and less sleep, and it happens gradually. So over a period of time, it'll go from 8 to maybe 7, and over another period of time, you know, gradually, depending again on this, also the intensity, how toxic your body is and everything, it'll go down to maybe 6. And then it really depends, do you meditate? Because sleep is unconscious meditation. So everybody on earth meditates. That's what's so funny, you know, even people who don't know anything about meditation, they just unconsciously meditate. And then meditation is conscious sleep. So if you're meditating, your life is a meditation, you will need less sleep by default. Okay? So lots of factors involved in there. How rested is your nervous system? How abused is your nervous system? Like if you go to the gym and you beat the hell out of your muscles, like I used to do in the old days, you're gonna need a lot of sleep, and it's not gonna be enough. Your nervous system is abused. And so many factors. So most of society is diseased and sick, therefore, the average human being, which is a sick organism, needs 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so let's just go over that quickly before moving into the dream world here. Okay, because I find that part more interesting, only because we've talked before about, you know, food reduction, breatharianism, and everything. So just check my most recent videos. But from what I heard from the breatharians that are currently alive, the ones that are like pretty, you know, pretty hardcore, that they sleep between 2 and 4 hours. So it seems that even when you no longer eat, even the breatharians alive, you know, that no longer eat, and they have their body fully clean, no toxins in there, and then the body has become such a massive detox. So because you're still living in the environment, there's still toxins even if you're in nature, but essentially they still sleep for about 2 to 4 hours. Okay, so that kind of tells me something about sleep. So you reduce your sleep by reducing the food intake, period, and allowing a period of time for the body, a gradual period of time for the body to clean itself from all the toxicity from the environment, from bad eating habits while growing up, etc., etc. The older you are, the more your body's abused, the longer it will take for the body to clean itself, and then your sleep will essentially be lessened. Combine that with meditation, and so you could really drastically reduce your sleep. Okay, so we gone over that. But even people who no longer eat still say they sleep between 2 and 4 hours. So it seems to me that it kind of is essential for human beings to sleep because they dream. Okay, you know, there's so much talk about the REM sleep part of the cycle, which is where we dream. Apparently that's where most healing happens in the body, but at the same time, that's when you're dreaming, that's when you're in the astral plane. And again, because your conscious mind is absent, you have direct access to the unconscious. So then you might have dreams, and they may be trivial, but that's the higher guidance communicating with you. Now, to give you as an example, now I woke up this morning, and I used to do this dream journaling way before, and I kept the journal for about a year, and it's amazing when I look back at it how many future premonitions I got, how many things I saw that happened later on, a few months later, and it's amazing just how much illumination I got into my everyday physical realm existence. And I stopped doing that. I'm gonna do that again today, or started today again, only because out of the blue, I woke up today and I remembered 4 dreams right off the bat, and I wrote them all down just like spontaneously, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do this again. I just had this, like, you know, clearly that's the spirit communicating to me. So how? Well, you ever ask yourself why sometimes out of nowhere you wake up in the middle of the night? And you might say, I gotta take a piss and this and that. Okay. But why specifically at that time? Because, you know, when you wake up, you remember essentially your most recent dream, maybe, or a couple of dreams, okay? That's what spirit wants you to remember. That's why you woke up at precisely that moment. Because spirit wants you to remember, because if you keep sleeping, right, maybe you probably won't remember that dream. Usually when you wake up, you'll remember your most recent dream, okay? So why did you, I started to realize that today, because I woke up in the middle of the night, and I remembered this very vivid dream that's very relevant to something that's happening in my life right now, and I got a lot of insights from the dream. Okay, now why that dream specifically? If I had woken up maybe 10 minutes later, well, I would have remembered a different dream. But clearly this is the most relevant, and the higher guidance and the spirit guides and the whole squad up there, I mean, you know, they're always with you, and they're always communicating with you. So why did I wake up at that precise moment to remember that precise dream? Because there is a message there for me, something there that will illuminate certain aspects of my existence in the physical realm. Okay, and so then I went back to sleep. Then again, I woke up at this precise, you know, I don't use alarms. So again, I woke up at this precise time where I could remember my most recent 2 dreams. Again, had I slept an extra 10 minutes, maybe a different dream would have been remembered. But again, what do you think is going on? Like, You know, why did I just suddenly wake up? I mean, there's like forces working at us all the time. And Terence McKenna has this saying, you know, who do we work for, really? You know, because, you know, once you really realize that you're always connected with all these disembodied entities, you know, you're like, who do we work for, right? Like, what's going on here? So, who do you think is waking you up in the middle of the night, nudging you? Who do you think is waking you up in the morning? Who do you think is doing all that? And so, clearly, if you're remembering those most recent dreams when you wake up, there's something there for you. And to ignore it is to ignore it. It's to be ignorant. Essentially, that's ignorance. Ignore ignorance. You see the synchronicity of how that language works out. So to ignore it is foolish. It's foolish. It's foolish, and it really is. It really is, because like once you actually see, like, you know, okay, that clearly there are forces working here, and I'm being waken up for a reason at that exact particular moment, because everything is perfectly synchronized. So let me take these dreams a little more seriously. Let me inquire into them. Let me learn a little bit about them. Let me read a little bit about Carl Jung and his theories, and let me just kind of even interpret my own stuff, my own dreams here. You know, what does this mean to me? What does this symbol mean to me? And you know, a lot of times, and you will learn as you go on. You trust your intuition more. Some dreams will reflect a certain premonition. Like, they'll tell you something that is exactly going to happen. Like, I remember last time I was documenting these dreams, I saw me and my brother in the Rocky Mountains. There was absolutely no plan to go there whatsoever. You know, we used to live in Calgary, used to go to the Rocky Mountains all the time. Well, guess what? A month later, my parents say we're going to come for a vacation all the way from Middle East. We're going precisely to the Rocky Mountains, and we want you and your brother to come with us. You know, so things like that sometimes they translate automatically. They could be just straight, here what's going to happen. A lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times there are archetypes. The mother archetype, the lover archetype, the father archetype, etc., etc., etc. And you work with the symbolism. So one person in your dream might appear with the archetype of a lover. You know, and you might be, say, with them. You see yourself with them. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be with them. They're going to be, you know, your sweetheart or whatever. It could mean there's something about that archetype which that person symbolizes and which could illuminate that aspect of your life. Okay? That comes, I think, because I journaled for about a year, and you start to get better. It's like a sport. You start to get better at discerning which of my dreams are future premonitions, which of my dreams are symbols, which of my dreams are telling me this or telling me that, etc., etc., etc. So now I'm back on the bandwagon, if you will. Because it's kind of just foolish to ignore this. Now when you see the synchronicity of it all. Like one time I was sort of in deep introspection about the existence of angels, and I just kind of asked, like, do you guys exist and stuff? Like, I kind of had a feeling they do, but you know, I kind of wanted a confirmation. So I one night woke up in the middle of the night like a robot, went to my laptop, and I opened it. And I look at the clock and it's 4:44, and I automatically go to Google and look up what does 4:44 mean. And the first thing that pops up was the angels are with you or something. You know, so it's like, come on, who woke you up at that time, and who put in the urge in you to get up and like a robot go to your laptop and check it? There's no coincidences. Okay, there's no coincidences. And it happened again 3 weeks later. Okay, for 3 weeks I didn't wake up in the middle of the night. Then 3 weeks later I wake up, look at the clock, 4:44. You know what I mean? Like, it's not by accident when you wake up in the middle of the night and you could remember a dream. It's because that spirit, the forces, the Tao, the way, all the people that work, all the you know, the squad, they want you to. That's a message. There's something in there for you. Like, give an example here. Last night when I woke up. You know, so in the morning, I remember the dream, and the dream was like this, because I had to teach a kid today in the morning. So I had an alarm, but I, you know, sort of, you know, I put the alarm. I know I said I don't use alarms, but I use them 2 days a week because that's when I teach, and I usually have classes in the morning. But I always wake up before. I always wake up before because it's a little bit later. I wake up pretty early, so I woke up before today. However, in the dream, that last dream that I had, I missed the class, missed teaching the kid, In the dream, I woke up after the alarm, after the class finished, and in the middle of the dream, okay, I realized, I'm like, no, hold on. I have set an alarm. I could not have missed teaching this kid, therefore I am in a dream. I became lucid. You see, I became lucid in the dream. I realized I was dreaming. And so then I was just kind of relaxed about the whole thing. So now how did I interpret it for me personally? And you start very much guesstimating, and then you could get better at it. I interpreted it as another clear message from spirit, because that's the most recent dream. When I woke up, that was the most recent dream that I remembered. I took it as a message from spirit to start journaling your dreams again and learn how to lucid dream and get more conscious about your dreams. That's the message I took, because I did become lucid in that dream. And spirit wanted me to remember this specific dream so that I could get lucid. I could get journal now. I could pay attention. I could be like, no, there's no coincidence that I woke up at this precise time and I'm remembering that most recent dream. And that was pretty clear for me, that was the message of that dream. You know, and that's why spirit wanted me to remember this dream as soon as I woke up, is start paying attention to the dreams. You already became lucid in the dream, which means you could do it again. You didn't even try, you didn't even attempt, which means you could do it again. So I think that's part of the reason why we sleep. And I feel like, you know, there is no need to try to transcend it. There is no need to try and go beyond it. There's no need to try and not sleep or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's possible. It's just maybe we're missing out on some good. I mean, in Tibet they have a dream yoga. Apparently you can get enlightened just off of becoming lucid in your dreams. You know, it's called dream yoga. I have an audiobook on it actually, and I listened to half of it, so maybe I'll finish the other half. Listen to half of it, or I'll just maybe start it again. But you pay attention to these messages. You pay attention. Spirit is directing me now into the dream world, and that's why I became lucid, and that's why I remembered 4 dreams today without even trying. Now, what happens when you start to journal your dreams? You will remember tons of them. You will remember tons of them just within a few days, because now your mind-body complex are conditioned to say, well, we're gonna not, like when I was journaling the dreams for a year, I would go in and be like, well, interesting, let's see what happens. I'd literally close my eyes and be like, all right, well, I guess now I'm jumping from one dream world to another, because it's all a dream. And now it's time to go to the astral plane. All right, interesting, let's see what happens in there. And life gets very interesting, very, very interesting when you do that. And you'll remember, like, oh man, you'll remember like minimum 3 dreams. Like, oh, you know, I'm probably gonna remember a lot of dreams tonight too, because I'm gonna journal every night, every day when I wake up. But you'll start to remember lots of your dreams, and it becomes very interesting. You know, if you think sleep is boring, it becomes very, very interesting. Okay, so, but yeah, just to cap also, you know, again, 8 hours is way too much. I mean, when your body's detoxing, if you're gonna like clean yourself up and fast and, you know, lighten up your diet, you're gonna still be sleeping 8 hours. But it starts to get less and less the more your body's clean, and the more your mind's clean, and the more your mind's calmer, and the more you're in alignment, and the more you have the energy, the force flowing through you, and, you know, the more you meditate, etc. You know, you'll get it down to maybe 6. Again, it's so relative, right? But when I say you'll get it down to 6, I'm saying you sleep 6. And you're like really, when I say, because most of the humans, you know, they're not even sleeping 8, they're sleeping less because of work and everything, right? So they're getting by with even less. They're getting by with even less. So you could get by with less, but it's called getting by. You're tired. You basically walk through your entire life in a compromised state of consciousness because you're tired, because your body needs more sleep, because you abuse it through food, through lifestyle choices, not getting enough sun, because the circadian rhythm is all messed up. You know, you're breathing too many breaths per minute, etc., etc., etc. You know, it's the whole abuse. I'm talking about like getting 5-6 hours after your body's fully clean and your mind's clean and your lifestyle is meditative and chilled. You can get 5-6 very easily and be absolutely like, you know, the force is strong with this one kind of existence, right? Again, but that is gradual and over a period of time. And then if you do manage to become breatharian, your sleep will go down to 2 to 4, still you know, you get the REM sleep, you still get in the dream world. I think it's absolutely even if I have the power to transcend sleep, I don't want to, because I realize just how powerful these messages are contained in the dream world. And again, it's foolish to ignore them. It really is foolish to ignore them. You're remembering your dreams for a reason, for something that is, you know, that they need to be remembered. There's no accidents. There's no accidents. No accidents at all. At all. No accident. No such thing as accident. So yeah, that's a little thing about dreams. Thank you to all the Patreons for your support. I will meet you all in the astral plane tonight, tomorrow, every night. I'm going there. I'm very excited to sleep today and see how it goes and see what kind of messages I'm getting. Think about it. Your ego is not there. Your astral ego is there, but it's a lot lighter. You see, so your connection to spirit is very, very strong. You know, like, you get some really good messages. I'm telling you. You know, they're purer messages. Because here, you could be getting these like really distorted messages. But in the dream world, you're getting it straight up. Like, it's just, here is how it is. If you have a lot of fears, you're gonna manifest a lot of fearful dreams. You see? And if you have a certain problem with you know, like, I used to get a lot of dreams of my dad beating me up because I did not forgive him for doing that when I was a kid. So that would pop in all the time. That was my psyche speaking to me, saying, dude, you got to do something about this. You got to forgive and let go. And if you don't, and so this, you know, there's a saying by John Lilly. John Lilly is a very interesting guy. He invented the flotation tanks. He used to go do LSD there in the flotation tank. So that's a double whammy. And he used to, you know, communicate to aliens and stuff. He coined the term ECCO, Earth Coincidence Control Office. Anyway, you know, different video. And he, what was I saying? Yeah, so I lost my train of thoughts. I went on a tangent there. Oh yeah. So he says, cosmic love is ruthless. It teaches its lessons whether you like them or not. And it will be pretty ruthless in the dream world. Okay, because again, it's straight messages. So I did at the time, I, you know, resented my dad so much all the time. He's yelling and beating me up, and it's unpleasant. If I had listened and I started to, because I didn't know that was a message, but eventually I picked up on it, you know, and I started to practice letting go and forgiveness. But that was the message there, is you have to forgive, you have to let go. And so, you know, it's sort of, it's the naked truth. The dream world is the naked truth. Spirit tells you, here's what you need to work on, my sweetheart. So yeah. Again, sincere gratitude to the Patreons. And if you would like to join in, chip in a couple bucks a month. You know, it's good karma. And we could do the retreats that I'm always talking about, that I would like to do. And if you just want to do one-time donations on PayPal, there are links in the description. I appreciate you, every single one of you guys who support in any way. Saeed Mobayed on Instagram. Okay, go on Instagram right now. At least that's the least you could do, and follow. Interesting stuff there. I have this gratitude bits on Instagram, so every day I say something great I'm grateful for. So, you know, it's good, it's cool. And that's about it. Until next time, may the force be with you.